In this video, we're going to go from this, oh yuck, to this. If you have an issue with your dishwasher not actually washing the dishes, including not emptying soap out of the soap dispenser, you may have an issue with the circulation pump. Did a couple of quick tests on this one, and it will add water and it will remove water. So pump in and pump out function is working fine. The heater is working because, well, it's hot when I open it up right after it's done, but dishes are not washed. So I'm going to pull this out and take a look at the circulation pump. So it's either, I'm guessing either clogged or it needs to be replaced. It has been making some like grinding noises for quite some time. So again, I suspect it's circulation pump. Prior to turning the water off and turning the power off, just start a light cycle. If you want to rinse this out a little bit down here, start a light cycle. You can wait for it to hear the water fill up, and then when it's done, just press and hold the start button for about 3 seconds, and it will drain it back out. Wait for it to drain, and that'll at least rinse some of this stuff out for you a little bit. So before you get going, make sure you shut off the water to the dishwasher and also turn off the circuit breaker. Okay, next of course is get all the dirty dishes out of the way. Okay, these clips right here come off just simply by pushing this over just a little bit, and then these clips will come off for the upper rack. Like so. Okay, so next, unscrew any mounting screws that go in here. Some could be on the side, some could be on the top. Just kind of depends on how yours is set up. Mine are up here on top. Okay, next, to move the dishwasher out, you may need to move the leveling screws up a little bit to get you a little bit of room to move the dishwasher up and down. Again, this is going to be dependent on your setup. Okay, both of these are up, so now I should be able to pull it out. By the way, on the valence panel, you should have a little information packet like this in here. And in this packet, on this piece of paper, I need to scan this in. Anyway, on this piece of paper, shows you how to get into test modes and read error codes. Very valuable little piece of information there. I need to do a separate video on just that. Alright. I'm just going to turn it on its side. That way I can leave all the connections connected for now. Okay, so now we're looking at the bottom of the dishwasher. This right here is your drain pump. I actually had an issue with that. That one was not the fault of the manufacturer or anything. It's just something got lodged in it, so I had to take it apart and clean it out. Right here is your flood switch. Did have an issue with that. When the flood switch went out, it actually wouldn't heat. So I'll replace that, and that fixed the heater. And down here is what I'm looking at today, which is the circulation pump. So to remove it, got some hose clamps here, and there's a hose right here, and then of course the connections to it. Alright, so let's start removing. Let's see what we got here. Little switch cover out of the way. It's just got a couple little snaps right here. And go ahead and unplug it. Okay. And just squeeze those two. Man, this thing's greasy down here. Okay, so right back here Right back there's a little clip. Let's see if I can get in there. There we go. Right back there's a little clip. It just slides in and out, so it goes back to your left. And of course disconnect these clamps for the tubes. There we go. Okay, a couple of things to check for, of course, is any clogs in the system. That's clean. This right here, this is a disposal model. This turns freely, so that all looks good. One last check. Alright, one last check is to ohm the motor across the two terminals here. Whenever I go to check resistance, that's probably too high. And I always put the meters together just to make sure the leads are good. And as you can see, it went down to 0, as it should. And by the way, on one of my videos, somebody goofed on my old meter here, but hey, it still works, so I'm good with it. So I'll plug it in, and it's showing infinite. I'm curious. Yeah, it's definitely showing infinite. So I would say I've got a bad motor. So next up, I'll have to order a motor and wait for it to come in. But for you guys, that's going to happen instantaneously. The motor is actually on back order, so I decided to dig in a little bit deeper to see if I could clean it up and maybe get it to work for maybe just a few days until that motor comes in. So what I did is I disassembled it. Used some cleaner on the armature and brushes, cleaned that off a bit. Then used some, I think it was 400 grit sandpaper to sand the armature down a little bit and put it all back together. It did work for a little while, so consider that a success. Okay, so now I put it on diode check after cleaning it, and now we can see resistance fluctuate. Really low resistance. So there we go. So you got to rotate the motor around just a little bit with it on there. I don't know if you can hear that or not, but you can see it flashing back and forth. So after cleaning it up, it looks like it's going to work. So I'm going to put it back in there, and we're going to check it out, see what happens. Okay, so when you reassemble it, keep in mind that this little hook right here, that's going to go into this right here, and then of course connect the clamps back up, connect the pipes back up, hoses, whatever they are. So I'll go ahead and move the camera out of the way to get that dude on there. It's not easy. So again, the hose, this hose, and then this little clip right down in here, I'll have to go in. Definitely want to make sure that your hoses are good. Don't want any flooding going on or electrical shorts due to water hitting stuff. And I ended up taking the clamps off until we got to put them on first. I can do this. Plug that plug back in. put that cover back on. Seems to be good. Now let's flip it back over. Okay, now I'm going to try a quick cycle on light. Let's see what happens. Yay, it's all clean. So cleaning the armature up on the motor, got it started working again. I will order a new motor because I'm sure this is going to be just temporary fix. But it's the same process to replace the motor, just don't clean the armature. So anyway, there you go. If your dishwasher has water that goes into it and evacuates water out okay, but doesn't actually wash the dishes, then it very well could be that circulation pump. So that's how you replace it. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please select like down there and subscribe to my channel. If you didn't like it, well, subscribe to the channel, maybe you like the next one. Thank you for watching. Time to flip it back over. Oh, need to put this back on.